What's up, boys? This is Tim here, and please like and subscribe if you haven't already. But Gugabe, you failed to make it last week, but you are back. And how are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. It was nice of Gombus to replace me, or at least to take over a bit. Yeah, all good. Just a bit of an awkward time slot to get to sometimes, but
Yeah.
that's what it is. Decent
Yeah.
week of fights.
Well, no, let's talk because I didn't really get to talk to you about this last week, so we can talk about the main card from last week, or not the full main card, but some of the big moments, and then we'll just get into Sandhagen and Font. I was on Poirier and Kopylov. Kopylov hit. Poirier didn't. I've stayed off the internet, so I don't really know what the takes are. My take was the first round. I thought it was like really close. I thought Poirier would probably. I think he did on two of the cards. I thought he'd probably get it because he like hurt Gaethje. I think he could have probably jumped on him and maybe tested it out, but I think he was also like, I don't want to get caught with something type of thing. I thought his boxing defense looked good, and whatnot. It was a round where I felt like Gaethje. Let me know what you think, because I can't tell if I'm being biased. Like, there's plenty of bets where I like miss, and I'm like, oh, that's I was on the wrong side there. I still feel like it was a thing where I don't know if Gaethje would have kept that like pretty counter game up that long, because Poirier was like pressuring him, and I felt like Poirier wasn't like letting his hands go yet. It was almost like he was staying safe, landing, and kind of was gonna pour it on. And then he just got caught with a head kick. Striking exchanges are high variance enough, though, where just shit like that can happen for either guy, even if Gabe, yeah. But what did you think, like, overall? I almost don't know what to make of it.
Main event, I had the under 2.5, decent amount, and I had a little bit of Poirier. Poirier was minus 250 after round one for a pretty good reason. I honestly think Gaethje getting round one and one scorecard makes no fucking sense. Like, yeah, the lands were pretty close, but like Poirier hurt him twice, and Gaethje did not do anything like that. Made no like. I just do not see how you rationally give Gaethje that first round. Like, I'm not going to say it's like some horrendous, so it's not like Poirier was 10-9, 10-7 again, but like it was a low separation striking round in which Poirier had two wobbles and Gaethje just did not. So like, what were you scoring for Gaethje there?
It was close. Yeah. I agree. Poirier had the bigger moments.
Poirier minus 200 is probably about right. Again, I just think he's a bit more consistent. Again, like the whole grappling upside thing, like it didn't happen in this one, but it's always the whole thing. Like if Gaethje ever happened to fall over, it's like, well, Poirier probably can just turn that into the fight from there. He ever gets like a decent top position on him. Like again, I'm not saying that Poirier was going to bomb takedowns, but it just gives him a little bit more ceiling. Yeah, good on Gaethje. He threw fingers like 4 feather head kick and it won the fight for him, but I don't really think anybody who understands sport can call that consistent like outcome. I think like again, like, I'm kind of whatever on the. I think the under was a decent spot, but again, like keeping it, it's like it only finished because he had the absolute fucking nuke head kick, and it's like,
yeah. It's a tough one because like Gaethje looked better than in the first fight in the first round, I would say. But he like changed his style. It's just, I don't know. You just have to see it play out more for me. Yeah. I don't know. It's just like they're gonna bang though, and it's like striking exchanges are very high variance, so shit can just happen. Like Poirier could have knocked him out. Gaethje can knock him out. Gaethje did land a couple good hooks in the first round, but like overall, I thought Poirier landed better shots early. But credit to Gaethje. I mean, even the first head kick that almost landed, like you could tell, kind of surprised Poirier. Like almost that one even landed in round one, and then the round two he like hit him again. But I can't even recall him throwing head kicks in the.
He's gone for some rolling thunders before, but not like actual head kicks. Like he's gone for like a bunch of like flying knees and random shit like that. Like it's like Derek Lewis. Like occasionally he'll just throw some random shit, but like he's never really been a consistent head kick guy.
It'll be interesting if Poirier like his durability gets shot going forward. If he starts getting like wobbled more and finished more going forward. I wonder what he's gonna do. But I lost on that. Is what it is. Pereira and Yan, I thought like both guys looked bad. Like I haven't talked to anyone about this. I don't know anyone's saying. I just like wasn't impressed by either guy. Like Jan gassed very, very quickly. Like we know he can gas, but he gassed very, very quickly. And then I thought Pereira won. Like, I scored it round 3 for him, but at the same time, I almost thought it was like an optics thing. It's like Jan looked so tired where like he was still landing and then like a bit on the feet, and then he landed a takedown. And the fact that a guy that gassed who isn't even that good of a wrestler can get Pereira down, so I'm like not impressed by Pereira, and I just wasn't impressed by Jan either. Like, I don't know, I hate like shitting on the guys, but I'm just like, I didn't think either looked very good. Like, let me know what you think in the comments. I don't know if I'm being hard on the guys, but I just like thought Pereira didn't look all that dangerous even on the feet, and Jan just like tired out. Neither of their grappling looked very good. I don't know. I just didn't think. I was kind of expecting more.
Yeah, I had the guys' distance and Pereira decision. Again, it's kind of weird since Pereira decision feel like it really needed a very tight rope in the end. Like, again, it's like, need the round 2 wobble to win round 2 without finishing him. And like, I'm not going to say it was like a robbery or something, but I do think Jan had a good argument for winning the fight. Like, going into the cards, I bet Jan plus 300 because I was just like, this is, definition like 1-1, definitely round 3, recency bias. And yeah, again, like a lot of the scoring for round 3 was definitely how tired Jan looked because like rounds wise, they're actually pretty even.
Yeah.
And like the 40-second takedown is just like that wins fights. Like throughout, I understand now we're kind of pivoting a bit more to this new kind of like, we're going to start scoring damage thing. But I feel like, recency bias takedowns have won far wider rounds, have won far wider rounds than that back. So it's just kind of like, I mean, the whole damage criteria thing is a little bit concerning for me because I feel like, say what you want about the control kind of emphasis being stupid, but at least a takedown is a takedown, whilst like damage can just mean so many things.
It's so subjective. That's the problem with damage. It's like, it's literally subjective.
Yeah. Like, knockdown is knockdown, but like, there was just so much stuff like, if Jan's body language wasn't shit, he probably wins that fight.
100%. Like, no, I really thought that. The thing is, when I was watching it, I was pretty sure Pereira was going to get it. Like, I thought he was going to get the decision, and then it was split, and I was like, oh. And then then he got it, and then I kind of leaned Pereira like winning the 3rd round because, especially with like how they do the damage and control thing, because I just didn't think Jan did anything with the 50 seconds of control. But I've talked to smart people who like also thought Jan won. So it was kind of just depends. It's weird because I feel like Pereira landed maybe better shots, but like I don't even think he damaged it at all, and then he was just like then he lost the last half of the round. But it was like I agree with this. Like the whole damage thing, it's I don't know. We've spoken about it.
Also, like a rerun of that fight, I'd probably take Jan. I think Jan was like minus 150, minus 200 just because of takedowns. Like, he hit 3 takedowns, Pereira had 1 get up. Like, that just wins fights fairly often. Like, again, I'm not saying he didn't look old, he didn't look fine as shit, but I just feel like, you give me a bunch of iterations, I'm going to take the guy who hits takedowns.
If the thing is, like, I picked Pereira to win, and I would probably pick Jan. I don't know, like, Jan's aging, though, but I mean, Pereira kind of is, too, but I would probably pick Jan in a real. It's crazy because his cardio looked way worse than usual because like sometimes he gasses because people wrestle him, but he was like tired after just like shooting a couple takedowns, and then even when he was death gassed, he still got takedown. It was a bizarre fight. I don't even know what to say about it. Lewis and DeLima, I wrote in my breakdowns like beware of DeLima at minus 230 just because I feel like people are forgetting how like Lewis is still very dangerous, and DeLima isn't exactly proven over extended fights, But I still thought DeLima was a more technical striker, but I don't know. It just is. It's also shit happening, like just like the Gaethje fight, Gaethje Poirier fight. So you never know. They could play it again. DeLima could have leg kicked him 3 times, finished him. Then we would have all said DeLima minus 900, But
yeah. That's kind of my take on it. Like, Lewis came out and maximized volatility, but like I think Lima still has a lot of tools that just make life very hard for Lima if there's any particular if the fight plays out a lot, it's just like if leg kicks were there, I think Lewis does not like leg kicks. Also, Lewis last couple of fights he has been quite quitty. So yes, he came out and had the shown enthusiasm, but there's probably versions of this where he misses the flying knee and decides he can't be fucked anymore and sort of gets TKOs.
yeah. No,
Like that would be a very Derek Lewis thing to do. You must admit.
part of my analysis of like being cautious on DeLima was he likes to wrestle sometimes, and that's not always a good thing to do. Like sometimes people think the answer is to wrestle Lewis. He can like explode up. Like Spivak ended up subbing him, but he got 6 takedowns. I was like, DeLima has never landed 6 takedowns in a round. Spivak did. Like the most takedowns DeLima's ever landed was 3. And I was like, if DeLima doesn't get him out of there early on the feet, I thought the striking would probably I thought that would get very interesting because that means like Lewis is just dangerous because Lewis is weird because you don't think of him as a cardio guy, but he explodes and then rests. So he's dangerous for 3 rounds. But I was just kind of thinking if DeLima started wrestling and that was like all of a sudden he was like focused on doing that, that's not always a good idea. Sure, you can maybe get a sub or something, but I just didn't see DeLima easily controlling Lewis. Like I didn't think that would be an easy thing. Like maybe he quickly subbed him. Maybe he did control him for a bit, but I thought it could get sketchy. And Lewis, when he gets on top, is very dangerous. Remember when he just killed Tabora in top position? Like Tabora's like a pretty good grappler, and like Lewis just killed him,
Particularly got like Lema, like again, the whole Romanov fight turned out to be like, how the fuck did Romanov finish that forearm choke? Like Lema should have been minus 300 logically against like any Romanov we've seen since.
I wouldn't go that far. But
he should win it like a massive. He should be favorite because like Romanov has.
I would pick
4 minutes to fight.
I would pick Romanov straight up. I just don't think that.
But he just does.
I think
mentally. He's got 1 round to find a finish, and like Romanov isn't actually a good top finisher. Like he hit a fucking stupid forearm. I honestly have no idea to this day how he finished that forearm choke. Like I'm a large human being, and I'm not saying I'm as good as athlete as Romanov, but I have people who I am as athletically. There's a big enough. There is the same athletic gap between me and some people as there is between Lema and Romanov. This is fucking hard to hit a half guard forearm choke. Like you just turn your hips to the side. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, you just have to get like an angle or just some type of angle to get a little breathing room.
Yeah, like legit. Like again, like you can do it for my crucifix. Like again, I'm a big fan of the crucifix forearm choke, but just straight up doing half guard arm.
I've only really had a few people like in sparring jiu-jitsu try to forearm choke me, and I would just think, what are you doing? I would just get like hand, I would just like get out of it. Like I don't know.
You can do it from crucifix. It is viable from crucifix, but like just doing it from half guard is like, Ivan Romanov is the most absurdly strong human being to ever live. But like just the physics, you just turn slightly and like you can't do it anymore.
Yeah. Tony Ferguson looked bad. That was kind of sad. I
think Bobby Green's starting to. Well, I think Bobby Green's not what he was as well. Like he's not bad, but he's also like
He's like a gatekeeper lightweight. That's kind of what I think.
Yeah.
Chiesa looked awful. I mean that.
Yeah, it was horrible.
I didn't like. I've said before that fight that each guys are very sketchy, and I couldn't trust either of them. I ended up picking Chiesa to win, and that was awful. Like, dude, he would start. Whenever Howland just fainted and didn't even land anything, Chiesa was like already covering up. Like it was bizarre. He was petrified.
I mean, he's always been a bit. Yeah, he's always been a bit sketchy from range. I don't think he's ever been a particularly passionate or particularly been a massive fan of striking. But like, stuff like the RDA fight, like he had a bad round 2 and he fucking rallies back and it's like he just looked like he was there. He tried for 2 takedowns. He was like, oh fuck, this isn't happening. I'm going back to my trailer kind of situation. He just did not look.
I still don't get. I'm pretty sure he's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Like I don't really know for sure. I don't get how you can get Darce 3 times. Like
I think he's just one of these guys who just is very aggressive. It's just like it's like being it's like a welterweight brawler. I mean, it's like a grappler brawler. It's just that they happen. Like some people have that.
But I disagree in the fact when you shoot for like every time it happens with him, it's usually when he shoots in for a takedown. And whenever you start wrestling, you learn like whenever you get in that front headlock position and you're on bottom, sometimes you can wait it out, because you get a stalemate in folk style wrestling, and they'll just if the guy on top can't get behind you, they just call a stalemate, and then you go back to neutral position in the center. But like from a submission grappling perspective, you are immediately taught to just fight hands. Like, and he doesn't even do it. Like, it's fight hands and then start like standing up, and he doesn't even do it. And it's bizarre. Like, I just can't believe he's been caught in so many darces, because like he has a wrestling background, and he's like a savvy. The guy has a submission win over Beneil Dariush. Like, he knows jujitsu. Like, you have to like.
Yeah, but
you can also like bully subs sometimes, like empower sub certain things, but I could not believe like how he just looked petrified in that fight. I couldn't believe it.
it's kind of it's the aggro purple belt kind of thing, in my opinion. It's just like some people just like, Kia is a big animal to be subbed as part of why he could sub Dariush. He just was so fucking incoherently angry. He just goes for shit.
Yeah. I don't know. Nothing else I really want to talk about. Let's get into Sam. Or do you want to?
I was big on Medic, which was a good spot. Again, as far as I'm concerned, strikers going up generally get underrated. Like, I just think if you're going up in weight and you're a striker first and foremost, I just think it's not that big a deal. Like, if you're a wrestler, it means your game just cannot work and just suddenly stop working. But like, as a striker, it means you got more durability, get it quicker. And like Semmelsberg was just classic sort of welterweight meathead, where it's just like he's just plus 150. I take Semmelsberger if he's more than plus 150 against people. I just do not think he should ever be a massive juice favorite because he's kind of retarded.
Yeah.
Like,
It wasn't kind of. What did you think of the stoppage?
I mean, Medic has the decision anyway, so I don't really care.
Yeah.
Like, he had round 2 unanimously, so it was like, I'm not. It was a little bit early, but like, he got flatlined, and like the situations where it's like erring between a stoppage or a non-stoppage when it's like late in round 3 and somebody's already got red, somebody's like got the decision, barring miracle, I don't care about too much.
Yeah. What did you? Okay, no, that's it. You want to get into Sandhagen and Font?
Yeah, sure. Give me a second.
I think because of the durability edge, Sandhagen's the rightful favorite. But from a round winning perspective, it's just hard for me to like jump on a minus 300 from whenever like a round winning perspective. I think it's going to be pretty competitive, But like Sandhagen's way more durable, and Font has just been hurt and knocked down and knocked out. Has he been like actually knocked out though, or is he just getting knocked down every fight?
He's been. I mean, Moonhoz was like club sub from memory.
He's actually never been knocked out. He's never been knocked out in his career, which is hilarious.
Moonhoz was club sub. It was like a massive club sub.
Yeah. He's never been actually knocked out in his career, but he's been hurt like a million times. And
also his eye seemed
very, very tough. Very smart.
That's the thing that weirds me about this fight. Like, Sandhagen KO is plus 235 and his money line is minus 300, and I'm just like, one of those numbers has to be wrong.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. Yeah.
Like, because if this goes a distance, I don't think that like Sandhagen. I'd favour Sandhagen over 25 minutes, I guess, just because I feel like he's probably a bit less like take a wobble. But like, I just think that decision only, Font plus. I think decision only. This is a very close fight.
Yeah.
And most of Sandhagen's edge comes from hurting Font, and also like Font's eye seemed to explode. It was starting to explode against Yanez last time over like not that much. Exactly, that's the thing about Font Yanez. It's just like Font's eye was about to explode over like 30 strikes or something. So it's like, is his eye going to survive 5 rounds?
Yeah. He's been hurt a lot. I don't know. It's kind of like I'm not going to touch it, overall, the fight.
I'll probably take some Sandhagen KO because I just think like, if Sandhagen comes anywhere near the minus 300, it means he's knocked him out. Like, that's just how the dynamic is. It's inevitably going to be some ridiculous Font gets knocked down 5 times kind of situation. It's what Font does, and like
he's gonna get clubbed and sub. That's what's gonna happen to you.
Inevitably, but still, I just think like. It just does not make sense as a pricing thing that like Sandhagen KO is that big a price relative to his main now.
Yeah. What is the Andrade and Suarez? I mean, I know you're going to be Andrade. I know. I'm a Suarez supporter for life. I think she's going to win the belt. Yeah, I'm not going to jump on minus 400 though, but I do think she's probably going to sub her. Like it's just
Yeah.
Andrade gives up her back way too easily, and I can't imagine Suarez not taking advantage of that at some point. Like she's going to be shooting she's going to get takedowns. She's going to be shooting them. She'll probably get her back, and she'll probably get a sub. It could get interesting if like Suarez goes for that initial sub burst, gets tired, like falls off the back or something, and then Andrade is on the feet, like something, and then like does a charge on the feet. Something like that could happen. But yeah, what is the actual short notice here?
I think it's a couple of weeks. I think it's ridiculously short. Andrade seems to be in shape. Like she just does.
Yeah, I mean, like it's going to be a thing. She just has to avoid getting subbed, right? But I don't know. Like whenever I watch the Blanchfield tape, I remember just being like, Blanchfield's probably going to sub her. Like before that, that was like an even money line. This one's not. Suarez is a better wrestler than Blanchfield, in my opinion, like takedown artist. But as far as submission grappler, it's probably pretty. I don't know. I'd have to think about that. But I don't know. But I just feel like Suarez will eventually get the back,
Yeah,
I think she gets. So I agree that like she had a dogfight against MDR, but I really do think like MDR is a sneaky. She's like not that good of a fighter, but she's a sneaky hard matchup for Suarez. Like I think Suarez can make people who would smoke MDR look worse than her. If that makes sense,
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah. Like, I mean, think of what Suarez did to like Grasso, and Grasso would light up MDR. But even though you would be on MDR plus 400 there or whatever it would be. But I think you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, MDR's weird because like she's not athletic, which gives her a bunch of issues, but she's probably like a top like 3 or 4 wrestler in terms of just like actual coherent technique at flyweight.
Well, she's big. Like it's like Suarez didn't have that monster size advantage that like she's gonna have down here. She's big, a big 115er. I wonder if she'll make weight because it's at 115, right?
Yep. I think I don't get one. Suarez just stay at fucking flyweight because like you've literally got a win over the reigning champion, which you absolutely pounced at.
Like, who she should smash again.
Like just make fun of Grasso. Just every morning get on Twitter and make fun of Grasso. Like again, like
I'm hoping. I want Suarez at plus money over Zhang. I've been like for years. I've been wanting that, and I'm trying to see how this is going to play out because it's like I kind of hope she looks like. I'm hoping she doesn't look as good here, but the thing is, I really think Lemos is kind of live versus Zhang, just one hitter player. Like Lemos is kind of tough. Like it's like the one time Zhang is maybe going up against a girl who can hit as hard as her, and Zhang gets hurt. Like she's been hurt multiple, and this is the biggest hitter she's ever faced. Like Lemos is the biggest puncher. Lemos is Lemos a top like 5 to 7 puncher, and like as far as like power.
Yeah, for a woman. Also Lemos's top game was not bad. Like again, like is she coherently going to get there against Sung? Probably not. But like she held down Moreno and all that pretty easily once she got there.
Zhang opened minus 600 and it dropped. Now she's minus like
that's retarded.
Now she's minus like 300, which I mean people were smart.
Like Zhang lost to fucking Rose, and like I think Lemos is kind of a harder version of Rose in a lot of. It was like a very similar dynamic to Rose in kind of a lot of ways. Like I don't know. Again, I find Rose such a weird little fighter, just a weird fighter. I don't know. And Andrade here, it's just like I feel like I wait 5 minutes and live bet because I feel like the Suarez win probably looks like Suarez just terminating him inside 5 minutes, getting quick sub kind of thing. Yeah. But I think if this extends, or if Andrade just bum rushes her, like I just think there's. Suarez looked gassy last fight at 125, and like maybe DLR, maybe the layoff, but still like they're actually going back to 115. I'm
worried for Suarez if she just doesn't get the sub in the first couple of minutes because even like
Gudalia and all that, they all people shit on Gudalia in hindsight, but she was a fucking good grappler.
Yeah, you're kind of cutting out a little bit, Gugabe, but I think you're back. But yeah, like I mean, I don't want to play Suarez like at this line, but I do think she'll probably get the sub. I am just hoping that a scenario plays out where Zhang dominates Lemos, so like Suarez doesn't look that great in this fight but gets the win. I just want them to fight where I get plus money. That's all I want. And I think regardless if they both win and face each other, I do think Zhang will be favored because she's been more active. But like, there will be two-way action on that fight because there will be people very passionate about Zhang because she can be fighting like Islam Makhachev and there'd be a passionate crowd on her because like she just has like that fan base where everyone thinks she's invincible. Then there'd be a very passionate crowd on Suarez too because like some people know she's legit. I just like really want that fight to happen. But Gugabe and Kennedy, I didn't like the way Gugabe looked in his last fight. Like the metrics here though, like show it can probably be competitive, and Kennedy is a bit hittable. But I do think like the youth and the size, and he probably has better hands. Like, Gugabe is probably a better kicker, but Kennedy's maybe better hands. But I don't know. Kennedy does get hit like easily, but I do think Kennedy has sneaky grappling upside. Like he doesn't land a lot of takedowns, but he landed 5 against Roberson. And if like someone gets and he has good defensive grappling. So if someone gets grappling going, I think it will be Kennedy. And then on the feet, I think it will be a little messy, but I kind of want to favor the younger, bigger guy. And I did not like the way Gugabe looked in his last fight. I thought he looked a little off. And the only way he ended up having success is when that Russian started gassing, and Kennedy doesn't really gas. Like Kennedy will be on you for 15 minutes, it can get messy though, like this could be a shit show, but what do you think here?
My question with Kennedy is like, we haven't really seen him in like a proper outside striking match in a while. So like a lot of those fights lately have been guy tries to grapple him, guy gasses grappling him, guy kind of falls over and Kennedy just eats them.
Yeah.
If Gugabe decides to go backwards and just throw like kicks occasionally, is Kennedy going to go berserk on him? Like it's very possible, but like that's kind of something I'm curious about because I could just see Kennedy deciding to not do much on the outside. Like a lot of his, I think Gugabe offers. I think if Gugabe gets put flat on his back, he's in trouble here. Like he's got good first layer takedown defense, but I don't think he's great. I don't think he's great if you actually put him down. But like it's also like if Gugabe just kind of just pivots around throwing jabs and leg kicks, like is Kennedy going to chase him down or not? It's hard to really know.
If it's only on the feet, it's hard. Like because like the last only on the feet fight we had for Kennedy was Negumeri. And I thought Kennedy won, but it was still close enough to where it was competitive enough to where shit happened and he lost the decision. He should have won that fight though. But the next 3 were him wrestling Robertson, and then the other 2 were like the guys panic wrestling, Clark and Kudawa, where Jacoby's going to strike and he's going to be like confident in exchanges. So if it plays out for 15 minutes, I'm just like a little worried about being on Kennedy minus 150. I think I would maybe pick him just like in a straight kickboxing, but whenever you factor in but it would be close. But when you factor in the grappling upside, I think you have to probably favor him. And just like, I feel like career trajectory, he's probably only going to get a little better. Where Jacoby, how old is Jacoby? Like he's probably
mid-30s, I think.
Yeah, he's 35, and Kennedy's older than I thought, 31. For some reason, I thought he was like 27 or something. But yeah.
Kennedy's a weird fighter because just like he's just got such insane physical attributes, and like he
doesn't even
particularly good at MMA.
Yeah,
like there's no real clear cohesive idea of what he actually does, but like he has all the sliders pushed to like 12. It's like Kamaru Usman or some shit where it's just like this man is dreadful at the sport of MMA, but like he just has every slider as a 15.
Yeah, that's kind of a goofy fight, but I did pick Kennedy in that matchup.
Kennedy could beat, if Kennedy fought like Jan Blachowicz, or even like fucking Kennedy Pereira or some shit, I honestly think Kennedy could just exist in their direction hard enough. Particularly if he once gets 5 rounders, but like, I don't know, he's kind of bizarre fighter. Even like the Jung fight, like he just kind of got knocked out doing nothing at range for a bit, or like Craig whooped his ass at one time. Craig turning out once again to be the best light heavyweight who ever lived.
Another just like come from behind sub.
Craig has the best wins at light heavyweight in light heavyweight history. John Jones doesn't count.
His top 3 wins are like, you could probably put his top 3 wins up over Jones' top 3 wins.
Yeah, even like Daniel Cormier or something. Again, like Craig is actually in the conversation for best light heavyweight of all time. Yeah, I can't believe he doubts them the entire time.
If you're only counting people's wins, but if you start bringing in losses, it's like, yeah, see ya.
He won 5 seconds of 3 very impressive matchups, and he only got knocked out 3 or 4 times along the way in those fights.
I've just been like any Craig like fight, no matter the odds, I just like don't play because I just want to watch and just enjoy the chaos and just watch everyone else get mad, or everyone else like celebrate whatever plus money ticket they can. If you win on a Craig fight, you cash like some type of plus 500 ticket. I feel every time, and yeah, but Tucker and Lopez, I don't understand the line. I haven't taped. I've not taped this yet, but Tucker is a better round winner. Like he's better at like as a process fighter, and he's never been subbed in his career. And I feel like people sometimes get too much credit for taking a beating or for like overperforming as like even in a loss. Because I thought he overperformed against Evo, but it was a lot of like guard subs. It wasn't like he was actually winning the rounds with striking or grappling control, And like Tucker's probably the better striker. He's probably the better wrestler, I would think. And yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Just like Tucker looked good against Quarantillo, and then he just got knocked out by Ige, who hits pretty hard and can bomb on anyone, I do want to tape. So like I'm not setting my stones, but my initial reactions are this line is probably a little off.
I mean,
it can happen, but yeah.
My concern here is like a Chiesa kind of thing last week, where it's just like, all right, Tucker, if he rocks up and looks like Gavin Tucker, should probably be minus 300. Like, Tucker Quarantillo was an incredible performance. That was a great fight. Like, he's probably owned Quarantillo harder than anybody else. But, yeah, it's just he's 37 years old. He hasn't fought in 2 years. He's been injured a bunch. And he's always been kind of fragile. It's just those are the three things.
I think the mistake with what I might be doing is like I'm looking at him at his best, and we might not get that, and like this guy said, he hasn't fought forever. He's older now, but
I do think that
even if he's older, I still do think he has to just like avoid not getting finished, and he'll probably win. And like he's not like a guy who would get finished all the time, Like I know Ige knocked him out, but like he's generally like.
I think Glenn put like a fucking ridiculous beating on him.
I mean, that was the biggest beating in UFC history. Don't you think?
I think Vittori kind of nails. I think like in terms of like sheer, if you put like a sensor on Vittori's face, I think nobody else has taken that many blows. Because like Glenn punch is like a quarter of a Cannonier punch.
I'd have to rewatch them. The Vittori fight, it was like a thing where I'm like, Vittori's so tough to where he's not giving quite the body language for the ref to be like, I have to 100% stop it. But any ref who is smart would have stopped it. Where Gavin Tucker, like that fight versus Glenn, people in the arena were screaming to stop the fight. And the ref was the only one. That one was bizarre. But it's been a while since like I watched it. I have to tape that, so I'll watch it tonight probably. But
I know, weird spot here. Again, I do agree the market does tend to overrate people coming in at short notice and like having competitors. It was like, remember that guy against Blackshear a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah.
He came in against Stamen, took him to a split decision, arguably got robbed, and he fights Blackshear and just reverts right back to being a fucking shitter. Like, Blackshear's not great. Blackshear looked minus 50 vows. Like, Blackshear owned him when he like Taylor took Stamen to a war and showed like unexpected cardio and all that. But it's just like, you want Tucker to rock up and just turn out to be just not Gavin Tucker anymore. Like it is quite live, and the way Gavin Tucker's style works is like if he just doesn't have it anymore, I feel like it could be one of those things where it just falls apart very quickly because he's just very aggressive, comes forward pretty hard, that kind of stuff. But yeah, like Gavin Tucker at his best would be like minus 200, minus 300 here, no problem. Like I don't think Lopez is Billy Quarantillo by any means.
Yeah,
and
like
Tucker owned Billy Quarantillo.
I think in this, like, there's sketchiness on both sides, right? Like the age, the layoff for Tucker, and then I think there's sketchiness on Lopez. Like he has no process, and I think then you should probably side with plus money. Like I think it's dog or pass personally. Like I'm not like Lopez minus 150 just seems like you're getting yourself into trouble. I don't know, but like Tucker could have minus 300 upside here.
Yeah.
And I don't really know if Lopez can, just because I don't think he'll have the round winning advantage, So I don't know. It's hard to break down because we don't have a lot of like recent data on Tucker and everything, but I expect him to still strike in volume and be there. He'll probably be a better striker and whatnot. We'll see what happens. Bozer and Alexa Kamer. When's the last time Kamer fought?
2 years ago.
2 years, yeah. I think Bozer's more proven and whatnot. He has a leg kick upside. He's probably beaten the better guys, so like that's probably fine. But he doesn't really wrestle. Striking is a high variance sport. Kamer is still aggressive and will try hard on the feet and whatnot. He'll try to clinch too. I think Kamer, or I think Bozer, he was at least like outlanding guys on the feet like Nascimento, who are like not awful distance strikers, I feel like he's just done more on the feet for me to like favor him here. I think the line's like reasonable, like, slight to moderate favorite Bozer. But it's like a striking fight, which I could see being a little sloppy, but what do you think?
I think it's a pass. My view on Bozer is all right. He's a lot more proven and like he's been around a lot longer, but like he's kind of gone from being the fast, cardio-y heavyweight to being kind of like just another guy. I just don't think his game is that radical light heavyweight. I don't understand why he went down. I think like he had a good niche, like evolutionary against heavyweights, because he could just be like the guy who's there, who has 15 minutes of cardio and pushes the pace. Like, there's not many people who grapple with kind of stuff. And like Kamer's big weakness has historically been people putting on his back. It hasn't been strike. Like he's quite busy and effective striking wise. Like I'm not rushing the bet Kamer.
He hasn't beaten anyone good on the feet for me to like still favor him.
Bozer are really better than Justin Ledet. I think Bozer and Ledet are very similar. Like, Ledet was actually not bad.
The thing with Bozer lately, besides just getting like blitzed by Kudalaba, which could just happen, he's outlanded everyone on the feet, even in his losses. Like Arlovsky, Latifi, Nascimento, he landed
margins.
Consider
but if Bozer has his ideal fight, it's just like 10 strike. It's like close but clear kind of rounds, a lot of it's leg kicks. It's not stuff the judges love, and like
I do agree. Like he kind of just goes leg kicks and whatnot. Honestly, it's probably going to be like a sloppy striking fight, semi-competitive. Like the more I think about it.
I mean, I'm not. I personally, I find it hard to play, but I understand why people like Bozer, because like he's been around that kind of stuff. I'm just like, age difference. Goes distance minus 115 is not bad, but like, I just have this gut feel that Kamer will just have improved a little bit. Bozer won't be quite as effective at like heavyweight as he was at the heavyweight, and just that could just be it.
We'll go over the last fight on the main card: Bahamondes and Klein. I think Bahamondes is like a slight to moderate favorite. Is probably fine for the busyness and whatnot, but Klein can still crack, and Bahamondes is a bit hittable. But I do like the overall like volume of Bahamondes a lot more. And I don't. Can Klein grapple him at all? What do you think?
I think Klein gets on top. He's not a bad control guy. Like he controlled what's his name? Welsh guy. Jones.
Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, Jones. And then didn't he fight Herbert too?
Yeah, he's got decent control in his back pocket, but I think Bahamondes is actually quite bad off his back. But if this stays standing, Klein
it's kind of hard
probably
to take. He's got decent first alert takedown defense though, so he'll probably.
But but still, I think if Klein can get a takedown, it could just be around from there. Because I just don't like Bahamondes once he's actually flat. I don't know. I just think standing there. I think standing the line's about right. Like Klein could definitely hit a head kick or some shit, but like probably is going to struggle. I'll probably take some Bahamondes round 3. So I just like how he builds. He's got the traditional striker, he's super busy, that kind of stuff, and like. I think if Bahamondes justifies minus 200, it's likely that like KO looks good.
It's a tough thing because I generally think it's going to be a striking fight, and you got to favor Bahamondes. Like he's landed 112, 105, 126, and 99 significant strikes in his last 4 fights, and it's like, what's his name? Ludwig Klein has landed 60, 50, and 47. It's just like if it goes to the cards, is Klein really going to dominate? No, it would probably be like he wobbles them one round, strikes competitively, and like it would be he'd be probably be like very, very close, you know. Yeah. But is there any other fight you want to talk about? I'm so tired, but or if anyone in the comments wants us to talk about anything.
I like Carlson Harris a lot. I think Jeremiah Wells is a complete man.
I have to tape it.
I just think Harris's style. I think Harris could actually. Like, the issue is 60 years old, but like if he got to the UFC a bit younger, I think he could actually go on a decent run.
Yeah. With Wells, like he's not very good standing. Like he can land a big shot, but other than that, if he couldn't have taken down Semmelsberger and couldn't wrestle with safety, he was so fucked. Like he got he got like knocked down every round. I just watched that, and then I need to rewatch Harris, but I need to watch Harris's defensive wrestling a little more.
He got grounded once.
There's fight because if he keeps standing, he'll probably win.
There's one fight he got controlled in, but for the most part, he's beaten some decent guys in wrestling matches. Like there's a regional fight of him versus Turman where he just out wrestles Turman for 15 minutes. Yeah. I'm not saying Wellington Turman is a fucking great fighter or anything like that, but like Wellington Turman's a good control grappler. And I think Harris Harris gets put on the bottom for like 15 seconds and like wins the rest of the control grappling. And like I think if Harris gets on top of Wells, it could easily snowball as well. Like Wells just seems like he needs a very limited kind of a fight. Like Wells could bonk him, and I guess control's possible, but I trust Harris's cardio a lot more. I just think Wells is kind of shit. Like I just think he's between like. He's had kind of a combination of very soft matchmaking and just sort of favorable variants to get as far as he has in the UFC.
He's had a lot of favorable variants, and even just like it's just like even if they would have stopped it round one, they could have stopped that fight against Semmelsberger. Like I rewatched it, and he was like a limp gone, and like he just like came back to life. And then
Semmelsberger just hates under 2.5. So it's just how he operates. Like again, you see plus 150 on an under 2.5 in a Semmelsberger fight, and you're like, fuck yes. And then Semmelsberger just like again, he's a Hall of Fame Gugabe underman. He just like him and Max Griffin are just like the absolute elite. Like, fuck you, this is going over because guys.
Max Griffin, every fight is like 3 knockdowns. Every single fight.
Pull up Semmelsberger's fight metric for like recent fights. And even like against Medic, he actually barely made it over 2.5. I didn't have the under 2.5, but it was funny. Went over by 5 seconds.
Yeah. Okay. So the last 5 fights of Semmelsberger have gone over, and 4 of them have gone to the decision. There's been 8 combined knockdowns.
Fletcher almost killed him twice. Fletcher almost killed him multiple times, and Fletcher had a heart attack. Like, there's no knockdowns in the Fletcher fight, but that was an insane war. Morono hurt him multiple times. Like again, this is actually understating because it's actually missing a bunch of like big wobbles and that kind of stuff.
It is hilarious. The one time it finished was the only time he got knocked down. He's never been knocked down. All those are him knocking people down, and then he got knocked down by Medic. I actually did. What did you think of that stoppage? I kind of thought it was early because I almost thought like what Semmelsberger did to Medic round 1, they could have stopped it there. Like it was almost like the same thing. I thought they were gonna stop it in round 1, and then it was almost like I feel like but still like Medic would have still probably won the round. So it's not like Semmelsberger got robbed or anything.
I'll tell you what, again, I remember the being like I was just happy it happened. So like usually I get the stoppage notification like 5 seconds before it happens, just the way my setup is. So like I actually watch finishes. I feel like he got dropped pretty hard, but I think the follow up was not particularly because like off the actual knockdown he looked gone. Then he just kind of kept going along. Let's goes bangs, he drops. He was still thriving. He was still thriving. Like I get your argument, but I don't think it was egregious. Like I think that's like a 20%. That's like 20th percentile stoppage. It's not like a
Yeah, it wasn't egregious, but I do think like the first.
You feel bad for the guy.
The first round knockdown was maybe just as bad, where I'm saying like was almost just as justified in a way, like that they could.
I agree.
Yeah. but I don't think it was bad either. But all right, that's everything. I got to get going, so we're gonna end this. But all right, we'll be here next week. What's the next card?
Who's
I'm
next card?
looking.
Luke Dos Anjos. As far as the A's favourite, I thought it'd be the other way around. I don't have strong opinions on that fight. I thought Luke would be favoured.
Yeah. Well, you're cutting out anyway, so we're gonna end it early. But
Yep.
Well, I'll see everyone next week, and thanks for everyone in the comments. Thank you for participating. Like and subscribe. Thank you.
Gotcha.